Alright guys, good morning. Today, I'm going to make a video how to shift a manual transmission. In this case, a 6-speed. And every car is different. Every car is, it varies. I'm going to stop right here. But this car, the most important thing to remember is that you have to clutch, how to take off from first gear, and then what speed you're going to be at in every single gear. So, this car, for example, it's not very torquey like other trucks are. So you do need to give it gas when you take off. What do I mean by that? You're gonna press the clutch, okay, all the way down. So you see my foot, all the way down, and you're gonna put first gear. All right, with your foot all the way down in the clutch. If your foot's not in the clutch, it's not gonna go into gear. See? So, clutch all the way down, first gear, right? Now, here's the thing. When you let go of the clutch and you let go of it too fast, the car will turn off on you. And you gotta be careful too, because if you leave it in gear and you forget about the clutch and you let go of the clutch, sometimes the car might just take off and you might hit another car. So this is something you have to be very careful about, all right? So make sure you have your foot in the brake. And when you get ready to go, this is what you do. Before you release your foot out of the brake, you'll start letting it go of the clutch slowly. And you're gonna feel the car wants to go, okay? Don't press too hard on the brake. As soon as you start feeling the car wanting to go, wanting to take off because you're letting go of the clutch, you need to give it gas. Okay, so I have my foot in the brake, right? Let's see if I can show you this. Here's the accelerator. Okay, so I have my foot in the brake, right? I'm gonna hold the brake, let go of the clutch slowly. The car's gonna want to take off. I'm gonna give it gas. See? And this is something you gotta practice. So I'm gonna repeat it again. Let go of the clutch slowly. As soon as you feel the car trying to take off, give it gas. Let go of the brake and give it gas. I'm the type of person that if I know the car's not gonna roll on me, I don't use the brake. For example, if I feel like right now the car's not moving, I don't have the brake on, the car's not moving. So if I feel like the car's not gonna move, I don't use the brake when I'm at dead stop. I have my foot off the brake, and I just have my foot I put it in gear, and I have my foot all the way in the clutch. Now, if I feel the car's moving, obviously I use a brake. But if not, I leave it like that. And when I'm ready to go, I let go of the clutch, and I start giving it a little bit of gas, and the car will take off. And this is something you need to practice, because a lot of people they want to drive, but they don't practice first gear. So after you take off in first gear, you're gonna watch your speed, and you gotta figure out. You're gonna feel the engine, the rev of the engine. You're gonna feel the engine wanting another gear. It's gonna be too revved up. You're gonna feel the engine, the motor just kind of like giving it all. You're gonna feel it really high, and that means, especially on the RPMs, that means that it wants another gear. So this car, for example, between 1 mile to 12 miles an hour. So let's say right now at 12, you put it in second. Right now I'm in second, so I'm gonna shift. So from 12 to 25, I'm gonna put third gear. Okay. So let's do that again. From first to 12 is first gear. From 1 mile to 12 miles is first gear. From 12 miles to 25 miles, we say, is second gear. And then after that, you put third gear. So, see, I can't go that fast right here. It's a school zone. So, 28 miles an hour, we're in third gear. And you could actually put fourth gear here, but the car's going to be a little bit sluggish. The other thing that people don't understand that I want to give an example on, you can put whatever gear you want, okay, in the car. Like right now I can put 6th gear if I want to. But what that's going to do is it's too high of a gear for the car to be able to pull it. The gear is too high. The car needs to be in a lower gear, or else it's gonna stall on you. The gears are designed for a certain speed, and if you put the gears at the wrong speed, the car it's not gonna run. So right now, say look, 25 miles an hour. Let's say 21 miles an hour. Just put third gear. Let's see, right? 25, 30. So every, let's say, increments of 10 gears. I'm sorry, increments of 10 miles an hour. You shift every gear. If you have a 5-speed, like I said, every car is different. But this car is a 6-speed. So what I'm noticing is about increments of 10 miles. To drive it normally. Now, if you're gonna drive it like a race maniac and like a race, so wannabe race car driver, that's a whole different story. So right there, I'm in 4th. I can put 5th if I want to. I don't need to. That's fast enough. Right here's 35 miles an hour. So my point is that to make it simple and understandable, every single gear has a speed. And to downshift, the same thing. Right now, the car's gonna see the RPMs, they're low. So the low, you see these? They're low. That means that the car's gonna start being sluggish. The RPMs means how fast the motor is spinning, how much power the motor has. So when the car is idling, which means the car is just sitting there on, it's about 900 RPMs or 800, a little bit below 1,000. See? And from what I've noticed, I give it about 2,000 RPMs to be able to take off from a dead stop. So, see? If you have the car, let me just slow down here. If you have the car in a really low RPM, which means that you let go of the gas and you leave it in the high gear and you don't downshift, the car's gonna stall on you. So you need to be able to downshift. So that's why I always tell everybody that I'm teaching, always watch your speed. That way you know what gear you're on. And it's gonna be something where you get used to it, you just do it automatically. But if you're just learning, yeah, you do have to watch your speed and your RPMs. It'll help you. It'll help you a lot. See, that's third gear. I'm gonna put 4th. A little low, see? RPMs dropped because I put 4th too fast. I should have given it more gas. But it's still good. It still holds it. The car still pulls fine. So those are the most simplest thing I can teach as far as that goes. Like if you have a car that's different from this car and you guys want me to help you out or whatever, send me a message. I'll do my best. I'm in 2nd right there. But there's nothing to this. I personally think that it's just practice. But the most important thing is to remember is the foot and the clutch timing. People teach it differently. I teach it the simplest way. I don't go into terminology, a bunch of different crap. I mean, not that it is crap, but it's just I don't go into it. I don't like doing that because I feel like it's unnecessary. You know, the easiest way you teach a person, it's to simplify it, and that's how people learn. That's how I learn, at least. So, see, like right now, I'm strolling through the neighborhood, right here, residential neighborhood, in 2nd gear. So, easy peasy. And one last thing, like I was saying, you can go through every single gear at whatever time you want on most cars. This car has a protection where it doesn't let you put a gear on a certain speed. So if you try to put the gear on, the gear won't go in. So let me give you an example. You're in 1st gear, you try to put 6, it's not gonna let you. On other cars, it will. If you press the clutch in. And every time, that's what I forgot to say. Every time you shift, okay, so when you put the car in 1st gear and you let go of the clutch all the way, the car's gonna take off. You shouldn't be holding the clutch or resting your foot in the clutch at all whatsoever. The clutch should be out when you take off. So when you let go, so when you press the clutch and you put the car in 1st gear and you let go of the clutch all the way, the car's gonna take off, and then you give it gas, you have the clutch all the way out, and the car's gonna take off. Now when you get ready to shift, this is how you do it. You get ready to shift to 2nd gear, okay? So you press the clutch, put it in 2nd, and you let go of the clutch all the way out, and you give it gas. So you press the clutch, 2nd gear, let go of the clutch all the way out. Let me turn the car off so I can. So first gear. Right? We let go of the clutch, we get gas. Woo. Woo. Right? We let go of the clutch all the way out. My foot's in the accelerator. Right? I'm giving it gas. Get ready to third gear. So I press the clutch all the way down. Boom, put the gear in, let go of the clutch. And some people let go of the clutch a little bit slower. But don't let it go too slow and give it gas, because then you'll mess up the clutch. You gotta let go of the clutch kind of like that. Some people let go of the clutch like that, and then the car goes boom, 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 boom. You know, so you ever seen some people how they drive? They go whoa, oh, oh. They drive like that. It's because they let go of the clutch too fast. They're just letting every time they put a gear, they're letting it go of the clutch like that. Every single gear. You want to be smooth with it, and it takes practice and it takes time. But as long as you get it down, don't worry about all that. If you're driving like that and you're driving like the person I just explained, you're fine. You're learning. Okay? Things, when you learn, just it's like an instrument. I play an instrument as well. You're going to sound rough. You're going to sound like you're just hitting the notes with your fingers stiff. But once you get better, you're going to sound better and better. And that's the thing about this. Don't be afraid to fail. It happens. Don't be afraid to stall. It happens. We all stall. We all, even me, sometimes I stall with this thing because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to the clutch. I'm used to the truck. The truck, you let go of the clutch, the thing takes off. You don't need to give you any gas. It has so much torque, it has so much power, you don't got to worry about giving it gas. I just put it in gear, let go of the clutch. Let's say the truck, I put it in first gear, let go of the clutch all the way. Even loaded on the hill, the truck will take off. So much power they have. It'll take off, and then when I let go of the clutch all the way out, I give it gas. So, and you can actually float gears on cars, but I wouldn't recommend it. Not for these things. You'll mess them up. For trucks, yeah. They're a little bit better transmissions. But not for these things. So, like I said, I know there's probably something I'm forgetting, but if you guys have any questions, you guys want me to make another video, whatever, whoever, let me know. I don't mind. I want to help everybody out. And, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that they don't know how to drive, and they're looking for videos. And I was one of those people that sometimes I go out there and I don't know how to fix something, and something on my boat, and I look on videos and I see somebody fixing, and they teach you, and you're like, man, this is cool. YouTube is so helpful. And I want to help people out and also preach the word of God. But, you know, it's something that I want to give back to whoever desires it. So whoever is looking for help, hit me up. I'll do my best to teach you, and hopefully it helps you guys out. And that's the most important thing. And remember what speed your gears are at. Remember that most cars, from what I see, they're increments of 10 miles. So every gear, it's going to be 10 miles. So, for example, first to second, first gear, you're going to be between 1 mile, 0 miles an hour, and 10, 15 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour. Second gear, 10 to 20. Third gear, 20 to 30. Fourth gear, 30 to 40. Fifth gear, 40 to 50. Sixth gear, 6 to 50, and on fourth, you know, as fast as you want to go, because that's your last gear. So, and then when you downshift, same thing. Let's say you're driving on the freeway, you're doing 60 miles an hour, and you're coming to a dead stop, and you don't want to downshift. Don't downshift. Just press the clutch in. Don't take the car out of gear. Okay, don't leave it in neutral. If you're in sixth gear here, don't leave the car in neutral. Okay, don't put it in neutral to slow down. No. Leave it in sixth gear and press the clutch in. That way, now the transmission is in neutral because you have the clutch in. The car's not going to go forward. And you're coming to a complete stop. Let's say you're going 60 and you're going to slow down. Or let's say you're slowing down and the car start moving up, and now you're going to do 20 miles an hour. Okay, put it in third gear. Okay, put it in third gear. And what I always tell everybody, if you're lost and you don't know, you're like, oh man, like I don't know what gear I'm on. I'm going to mess up. Okay, always go to the highest gear. For example, if you're going 20 miles an hour and you're thinking, oh, it's between second and third, I don't know, go to fourth. All right? Why do I say that? Because if the car tries to stall on you, you put it in a fourth and the car doesn't have enough power to pull that gear, you'll be okay. All right? All you do is just downshift. You already know, okay, well, it's a lower gear. And if that's not the gear, okay, well, it's a lower gear. Right? Is that making sense? So if the car doesn't pull in fourth gear, you downshift to the lower gear. And if it still doesn't have enough power to pull that gear, it's still stalling on you, just go to a lower gear, right? But if you go to a lower gear when you're doing high speed, guess what? Now you're going to break your tranny. You're going to let go of the clutch and you're going to over rev your engine. And it's going to go woo, like that, and boom, something's going to blow up. Okay? That's how people blow their engines. How they make them over rev, and now you mess everything up. So always go to a higher gear if you're in doubt. If you don't know what gear you're going to take, go to a higher gear. Okay? So but that's why before you start driving the car, I know it sounds like you're going to be an airplane pilot, but if you want to be a good driver, take my advice. Get in the car, and whoever drives the car, let's say you have your dad, your brother, whoever has a car, all right, or somebody that knows how to drive the car, have them drive the car first, and ask them or watch them and see, hey, what speed are you putting the gears at? Oh, well, at this speed I'm putting second, at this speed I'm putting third, at this speed I'm putting fourth, at this speed I'm putting fifth. So now you know what speed the gear's at, right? So when you drive, you already know, okay, well, I should be in third gear at 20 miles an hour, for example, okay? That way, you know when you're driving, you're being safe and you're being smart, and you know you're not going to break anything, because it's not about learning and breaking something. Yeah, you need to learn, but you also need to take precautions where you don't break something. Because if it's the only car you have and you break it, guess what? Now you're screwed. So those are the things that I would do, me personally, if I was getting ready to start learning. When I did a few flying lessons on the airport when I was younger, we went through a checklist and we studied everything, even before we got into the airplane. So I feel like when you drive a car, that's what you should do. You should learn everything about how do you shift, what speed the car goes to. And why do I say that? It's so that when you're driving, you're prepared. You know. Because if you're oblivious to all that, you're naive and you get in the car and I'm just going to start putting gears and see what happens. Okay? It might go good. Maybe the car will last. Maybe it won't. So, me personally, that's the best advice I could give you guys. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Like I said before, any questions, ask me. I'll do my best to help you guys out.